Bit of weight. Oh, my knife. How do I go across?
It's backwards.
Yeah, it's like that all the time, Chris.
Scroll it across the way you just did it then.
What? Yeah, no, I'll leave it like this. No, please. Hi, Angie. Oh, what a nightmare. Can you hear me and see me okay? My first question I want to ask. I think it is a little bit backwards tonight, the screen is, so glad I'm doing sewing and no like measuring or anything. Good evening, Miss Rian. Oh, YouTube don't do hangouts no more, so that's my dilemma this evening. They don't do it. There's a new sort of software that they use. I was like, oh my word. So yeah, I love the fact you get a notification of YouTube when they change things. No, you don't. You don't get a notification at all. Good evening, ladies. Yes, I can hear you and see you. Brilliant. That is perfect. Because I would cry if you couldn't hear me and see me. Well, tonight, I'll give it a couple of seconds because I am late. So I'm wondering, you can hear me too. Fab. I'll give it a couple of seconds for everybody to join. But tonight I'm going to be making a handbag, toiletry bag. Hoping anyway. I am hoping. So I'll give it a couple of seconds for everybody to join us. I can't see how many is watching at the minute. All I can see is chat. So yeah, great picture. Oh, fantastic. I haven't done anything to my picture, but I'm glad you can. Oh, it's me. Sorry, it's me. It's me. Right. Okay. Good evening, Jan. Good evening, Jan, sweetheart. It does look the right way around, right? So I'm going to test you all now because I'm going to give you some numbers. So you're going to have to tell me whether it's the right way around too. Right. So let me know. No, see, it's backwards. Good evening, Fiona. I will work on this backwards thing, but I will let you know the measurements to everything I'm doing tonight. Oh, actually, I've just had a thought. It is not backward. It's not backwards. Oh, it's backwards on my screen. Okay. I'll leave it alone then. Good evening, Fiona. Good evening, lovely ladies. Like I say, give it a couple of seconds. But for anybody that's going live, or if you're going live with anyone else, YouTube has changed the settings. They no longer do hangouts. They've got this really weird setup. So yeah, it's a bit different. First time I'm using it, and on my screen it looks backwards, but as long as you can see it, that's fine. I don't care about the rest of it. Right. Okay, let me begin and tell you. Right, so we're going to make, I'm going to try and take the anti-focus off. Give me a second. We're going to make a handbag in the shape of, no, going to make a toiletry bag in the shape of a handbag. So yes, that's what we're going to do. Give it a second. I'm just going to sort the anti-focus out because it's flickering on and off. Come on, Logitech. Have to bear with me tonight. Right, I'm going to leave it there. Once it's set up, it's set up. Right, okay, so yeah, in the shape of a handbag. I'm going to do a toiletry bag in the shape of a handbag. But you can make this as a gift. You could, I know it keeps doing this in and out. I will sort that out, but I'm waiting for my software to load in order for me to be able to sort it out, and it's not loading. Oh. Right now, pretty mint fabric. Yes, it is. It's absolutely stunning. Right, okay, yeah, so in the shape of a handbag. I'm getting sidetracked. I do apologize. I'm having one of those nights and days. Right, okay, so I've got 3 measurements for you. The first ones are the sides. Now, I'm going to show you the fabrics I have. These are the sides. So I'm using different fabrics for different things. So first, I'm using this really rose fabric for the outside of my handbag. Like I say, I'm using it as a toiletry bag, but you could make this in a shape of, you could make it for a gift. So yeah, it's really crisp, isn't it? Oh wow, the picture's really good. I'm so pleased. Hi Debbie. Oh, hi sweetheart. So I've got the sides. Now you'll need 2 outside fabrics, measuring at these measurements, which mine are, there's my 2 for my outside, and then you'll need a 2 for your inside. Now I'm just going to go plain, like a plain pink, only because I'm not really going to see that inside, not the sides anyway, so I'm going to go plain pink for the inside. So the measurements for that is 6 inches wide and 9.5 inches long, because that's how big the bag will sort of stand when you put bottles in it. So 9.5 inches long. So that is the sides. The next one we have is the bottom, which is this one. Now for the bottom, I've got a bit different. So I've got this fabric for the outside, of course, to match with it and everything. And I've got this fabric for the inside. Now this is more like a canvasy material, although I want my bottom to have a bit more stability. Oh gosh, stability to it. So what I've done is I'm going to put some I'm going to iron some indicator on if I can find it, or I'm going to put some batten, and then that way then it'll be quite stable at the bottom. So I have got 2 pieces for the bottom, but you don't need 2 pieces, you only need 1, so I'll cut that down when we need it. And the green will be the inside of the bottom. So that's the bottom. And then the front, which I didn't mark all this out on, didn't draw all this out on paper, but I have drawn the measurements. So you will need 2 pieces for your front of your fabric. I've got the rose fabric again for the outside, and then I've got the mint green fabric, as Fiona said, is the mint green, for the inside, and then that measures 18 inches by 13.5 inches. So it is a second. 13.5 inches wide, and what did I say, 18 inches sort of tall. So that is the front. I've also got, because my handbag is going to have a zip on it, and it just so happens, and I don't know why I've bought it as is, but it just so happens that I have a pink zip, and this pink zip is 18 inches long approximately, so we're going to work with that. And I haven't measured out the handle, but we can work on that as we go along. So the first things we're going to do is, I've ironed all my pieces and I've sprayed them with spray starch just to give them a bit more sturdiness. They're not going to be so floppy. So what I've got is, I'm going to take the pins out. I have the inside and I have the outside. Now I'm going to move this to one side at the minute. There's a pin. And I'm going to take my inside. I'm going to turn it the other way. And then I'm going to fold it in half. Half would be a bit there. Let me turn the mat. So there's my half. Now I've got some a dressmaker's chalk, only because every time I use, I have got my iron one now. Oh, no, that's a good idea, correct? There you are, friction pan. My fusible friction pan. Right, okay. I scrapped that idea. I haven't got my dressmaker's chalk. I've got my friction pen instead, because it'll come out when I iron it out. So I'm going to make my handbag have a bit of a hole in the front, and that's where I'm going to be able to put my bottles in and out. Like I say, you can make one of these for a gift if you wanted to. That was my idea. I've never made one of these before. It's something that if you know me at all, I always draw what I want to create, and it's something that I've been looking at my own handbags and seeing how they've been making them. So it's something that I've always wanted to do. But now's the perfect time. So what I've got is, I'm going to go in, because this is 18 inches. I want to have at least 4 inches down, so that it'll be 10 inches across. So to work out how much I need is, I'm going to go in, I'm going to just mark it at 3.5 inches just for a moment. I don't know whether it 1, 2, 3, 3.5. So is my marks there, my mark is you. And like I say, I know I want to go down 4 inches with a zip, because I've only got an 18-inch zip. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to go in 1, 2, 3, 4. And then that should 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's giving me 7 inches, but that's okay. I don't mind working with 7. That's going to be my hole if you want it. So I've got 3 inches each side, and I've got 7. Bearing in mind now, I've only got an 18-inch zip. I'll move this. So I'm going to bring it out, fold it not in half anymore. I'm going to lay that flat a little bit. And because I've gone up 1, 2, 3, I have gone up 4 on this side. Have I gone 4 on this? Yeah, 4 inches on each side. I'm going to take my 4 inches and I'm just going to do 1/2 inch. So I'm going to go 4.5. There's 4.5 there, and there's 4.5. Right, so I've got 4.5 each side, and how much did I say? So was it 7? Yeah, 7 at the bottom. So that's going to be my opening. Right, now I've marked it on the inside. I'm going to take my outer fabric, lay this down completely flat. Make sure I can get as flat as I can be, and make sure I marked those corners. A bit over. Okay, I'm going to pop some pins in. I'm going to flip it over again. I'm going to pop some pins in just to secure it. I don't quite want to stitch it quite yet. And I think I'm going to do a 1/4 inch seam allowance, only because it'll give me sort of What size is the bottom? The bottom is, I'll tell you now. Wait a second. I'll tell you now. Jan. I can't remember myself. 6 inches and something. Right, so the bottom is 13.5 inches and 6 inches wide. So, no, wide and length. No, wait a minute. Let me try and work this out. Whether it's, I always get confused whether it's wide or length. Oh yeah, 13.5 inches wide. 13.5 inches wide and 6 inches. 13.5 inches in length and 6 inches wide. Is that how you do it? 13.5 inches this way and it's 6 inches that way. I think that's the width. That's the length, I think. But no, that's your pattern. So you go 13.5 inches that way and then 6 up. Again with the sides, you go 9.5 inches that way and 6 inches. 6 inches would be your width. Yeah, to the sides. I remembered it that. Remembered it that way. Right, let me sort this. I do apologize. I cannot knock my anti-focus off. I don't know how to do it. So you have to bear with me because, like I say, YouTube's sort of on this world of its own tonight. And I raised you up so you can see the table a lot more. But I don't know how to knock the anti-focus off. Right, okay. So I hope that helps. Hope that helps. Oh, I can see 9 of you are watching. I can see it. Right. So what we need to do now is we need to cut this section out because this section is going to be where we're going to put, well, where we're going to sort of dip into the bag. So, and don't, sometimes when I'm cutting shapes, I tend to cut in the middle to give me the space. I need the middle. The middle's going to be our opening. So be really careful how you do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my cutter, wherever I put it, there we are, and I'm just going to go up to that line we've drawn, so 4.5 inches. And if it's not quite done it as it should, which mine hasn't, like I say, I do apologise for the anti-focus. I'm going to just snip it with my little scissors. That's the easiest way to do it without salvaging in. Okay, there's one side. Now we need to do the other. So I'm going to go yeah. Oh, mind you don't stop yourself, of course. So one side, I'm going to turn it all the way around and then I'm going to go up to that line. And then we're just going to cut this line. So you could either cut it with scissors or I'm going to use my, very carefully, I'm going to use my rotary cutter. Okay, like I say, if it hasn't gone then what you want to right now we should have our opening. So that's going to be our opening to the bag, but I don't want to do mine straight. I want mine to have a bit of a curve. my bit of a curve. Please stop it, please. Right, so I'm going to take something round. Now, I'm going to see if I can do it. No, it's not this one. It's the sides I want to do. The sides, not the top. Right, so there's the front. I'm going to curve the sides. So you've got, see how you've got the opening? You could sort of see the bag coming into shape. And that's where I'm going to go in and out of it. Let me get the sides, which, that's the bottom. So those must be my sides, they are. I'm going to move that to one side and I'm going to concentrate on the side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay them on top of each other. There's that one. And there's this one. Right, like I say, I want to give my corners a bit of a curve. I did have some sellotape around here because that would be the perfect thing to use. Let me see if I can find something else. Oh, trust me, for everything to fall. Right. Make sure that these are completely flat. And I'm just going to use my bottle to give my corners a bit of a curve. So there's not that much there, but you can sort of see it. When I fold this in half now, like I say, make sure all your edges are lined. Just lined. And then I'm going to cut it. Now I'm going to cut mine with the scissors. And that has given my corners a bit of a curve. I'm going to do the same to this side. Shall I curve the bottom edges? Decisions. So there's my curve. Fold it completely in half. And then cut. There you go. Cut the corners in a curve. See how I've got a curve now? Just taken the edge off my sides will look a little bit nicer. Now I am debating whether to curve the bottom. I'm debating whether to do it because on top of there in a minute, just to see what it would look like curved. No, I think I'm going to keep the top curved, but keep the bottom straight. Right, now we've done our sides and we've done our top. There's the top and the sides. Let's push them to one side. And then I'm going to work on the bottom. So with the bottom, we basically want to make it a little bit stiffer. Now, like I say, with the bottom, you could use anything to make this a bit stiffer. Absolutely anything. I am going to... Should have interfacing, but I haven't got any. So I am wondering whether I've got enough. This is just a cut off. I'm going to use some wadding, but instead of me just stitching around the edges, I'm going to do a few stitches on it and I'll stiffen it up. So, got two sides. There. Right. to do is take this one and I'm going to sandwich it. So I'm not doing any seam binding of sorts. I'm going to do, let me think now, sandwich it. So fabric facing down, facing up, and then I'm going to put the ward in on top and turn it out. There, that's better. You can see now what I'm doing. Any questions as I go along, of course, I will try my best to answer. But like I say, I'm making mine for, to put bottles in. But you can make this easy enough. I was thinking about it when I was sort of drawing it out. You could make this easy enough for a gift. Like a little, because it's the shape of a handbag, you could easily make this for a gift. Easily. I'm going to cut this wording down. When it wants to cut, that's because of the pin. Turn it. Turn it that way. Okay, and then I'm going to turn it this way. Cut the wording down. Now, how I always say never cut the wording too close to the fabric? Well, for this, because I'm not doing any seam binding, I can sort of get away with cutting it as close to the fabric as possible. Right. Okay. So, quilting, needle in. I do apologise for the camera doing this all the time. There's nothing I can do about it. I've tried to fix it as I go along, but it's not working. I can't get to my anti-focus to be able to turn it off. So please, I will work it out for next week. But I do apologise. Right. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to sew 1/4 inch seam allowance. I have my quilter needle in my machine, not my embroidery needle. You could, you could hand sew this. Of course you could. Anything's possible. So there's my machine. I'm going to flip that over. And I've got this foot in. Now this foot, I don't know whether I've talked about it before, but you can see how it curves up. I can't remember what type of foot it's called, but it's an absolutely epic foot to have. I have to find out what it's called, because when you put the fabric on, instead of the foot, because normal feet just so and so, this one actually goes up and over, so you still get any stitches, but I'm gonna have to figure out what it's called. Right, 1/4 seam allowance it is. Now, if I'm unsure what 1/4 seam allowance is, because sometimes I do get stuck. That's a border. I will put my needle in, and I have got a sewing gauge. And on the sewing gauge, there's different numbers all the way around. And this is our little 1/4. So I will put the 1/4 up against the edge of the fabric and sew it that way. But now I know that's a 1/4. I sort of know where I'm going. But, however, I'm just going to mark this every now and then with my little pen. Should have marked it really beforehand if I didn't think. Right, okay, so off we go. Straight stitch. Good evening, Miss Janet. How are we this evening? all the way, all the way, all the way. Okay, before we get to that corner, I'll turn it, carry on going. And the other thing is I haven't left marked where I want my opening to be. Like I say, I haven't what am I trying to say? I'm not putting any seam binding on, so it makes it a little bit easier to know when to mark it. Okay, I'm going to go this way a minute. There we go, and we're off again. So this isn't going to make, even though I put some padding in, it's not completely stiff because of course I've put padding in. However, it will make it a bit softer than usual. I'm just going to take that pin out because it'll get caught in my machine if I don't. All the way, all the way, all the way. Now I'm on the last side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just mark my quarter there, and I'm going to mark my quarter there. I'm going to leave, that's probably 2 inches, and then I'm going to catch the thread just there and mark the corner. You can see what I'm doing now. Back stitch. Right, so I've stopped there, but I'm going to pick the thread up just there, and I'm going to sew to that corner, because then that way it gives me a bit of a gap to turn the whole thing inside out. Good evening, Miss Sarah. Good. I'm glad it's Friday, as it's been a long week. Oh, bless you. Okay, so we've now done all our corners. I've left a gap. If you wanted a bit of sturdiness, only if you wanted, and it's just a thought, I don't think I'm going to do it, but it's just to give you an idea. I'm going to turn it round. I'm hoping that's not going to go in and out in a second. It's just a thought, and I have done it on various other projects where you can stitch like make patterns in the fabric, and that way then if you keep going across and across and across, it'll become more stiffer. I think I did it for a basket I made Dee Dee for a swap, but I'm not going to do it tonight. So I'm going to round my corners off, and the easiest way to do that is just cut them off at a corner, and then that'll round it off completely, turn it inside out. And you see how I've got a lot of bulk around the edges? I'm going to cut that down too. So I'm going to take my jagged scissors, and I'm going to just cut away, not as close to it as I can, but I'm going to cut away most of the bulk. God, I don't know how this is going to turn out. Okay, there's one. Let's do this side. I might, just thinking about it, use the Warden and all my parts, and then I'm just going to cut this side down as well. Okay, so all that is no good. Where's my basket? There it is. Right, I'm going to turn this bad boy out, inside out. So I'm going to go between my fabrics, and I'm going to pull it right to the other edge. And I'm just going to push all that now through the hole. And this probably will need pressing. Making sure I get my corners. 1, 2, 3. So, okay, that is my bottom of my bag. So that's going to need pressing. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to tack. I'm just going to cut away some of this batten because it's not going to be in my way, I think. No, it's not. I tell fibs. Right, I'm just going to fold my edges in ever so slightly, and I'm going to pop a pin there, and then I'm going to take that on my sewing machine and sew it. So take it on my machine, and the reason I chose the side is no particular reason, it's just I know that the short edge of this isn't going to get seen much. Okay, so I've done my little stitch there. Good evening, Miss Dee Dee. Right, okay. Cut my thread down. I'm going to press that right at the end once I need it. So my sides. Right, my side. Oh, that's a spare piece of fabric. My sides. Now these are our sides. Since we've padded the bottom, I think I might go ahead and pad the sides, only because the sides are going to be a major part. Sorry if I keep making you seasick. Major part in the handbag. They need to be supported as much as I can support them. Right, let me cut some Warden off because I've absolutely got loads. Oh, brilliant. Right, wait a minute. Let me see if I have, because this is a big piece. Let me do the front first. Right, I got loads of things on my desk. Anybody else like that with their desk when they craft, everything's everywhere? Because mine is. Right, I'm going to loads of Warden, and I'm going to measure my front out first, and I'm hoping I have enough to cover the entire thing. And I do. So I'm going to move my pins, just the other side. I'm going to roughly cut this because I'm going to have to come back to it in a second to sew it up. Move these pins the other way. And that's the last one. Okay, move that over here. Okay, don't need that. Right, this is the wadding I have for the sides. Okay, so what I'm going to do, just like I did the bottom, I'm going to turn the side up to face me. Now, because this is pink each end, it doesn't really matter because this is only lining at the end of the day, and it doesn't matter to me about how it goes. That makes any sort of sense, because it hasn't got a pattern. I haven't got to worry about which way it's going. Although I do have to be concerned by lining up. So I'm going to stick a couple of pins in them. 1, 2, 3. Oh, 3 pins. Mind I don't stab myself. And I'm going to cut quite close. There's my sewing gauge. Where's my other one? There's my other one. So fabric facing down. And then this one on top. The only thing I didn't cut was a handle, but that's really nothing. I can get rid of that. Now I can concentrate on cutting these and sewing these up. I'm going to stick 2 pins in this, and I'm going to turn it the other way I've just done, and sew it that way. So where are you now? You heard me all natter on. Where are you all watching me from, and what time is it? I have got chat up so I can see what you're all talking about. I'm going to do this the way I did the bottom. I've had a very hectic, busy week, and I am so glad Friday's coming around, because I couldn't ask for it to come around any quicker than what it has done. So yes, I have been busy crafting. Only little things though. I made some journal words up in the week, and they were kind of cool to make up. Let me show you. So I made words like vintage show. Oh, my vintage showing. Vintage showing. What other words have I got? Hearts. Crafting section. Are you in? These are just words I made up. Be inspired. Your craft is your own kind of beautiful, and you are so inspiring. And I've also done some stamping that I nabbed some stamps from Srian. Hope she doesn't notice. Right, so I've got that one all sort of sewn up. I'm going to put another one in there. Claire needs to know. Yeah, of course. Wales, UK. Well, Rian, last time I spoke to you, you moved. You were in Bajan last time I spoke to you. Oh my God. Well, no. You got plenty of stamps. They're not all stamps, I promise. You got plenty of them. You might have lost them, Ree. You might have lost them. I keep looking in your folders. You'll come across them. Oh, you won't come across them? Oh, what a shame. Well, when I finish mine, I can lend you mine if you want. New Mexico. New Mexico, USA, temperature at 95 degrees. Oh, Debbie, it's 3 o'clock. Oh, my word. I know exactly where they are. Well, also, you haven't lost them. Oh, that's good to know. Right, I'm going to sew these up. So I'm going to leave myself, like I say, 1/4 of an inch all the way around. And this is how I should have done the bottom, but I never did. So I'm just going to dot 1/4 of an inch all the way around. You could even sew seam binding on this if you wanted to. So I'm just dotting it instead of lining it up. Wow, 95 degrees. Can you breathe, Debbie, with it being that hot? I don't know whether I'd cope. 1/4 of an inch all the way round. Oops. Right, so decide where you want your opening to be. Now, I think I'm going to do my opening at the bottom because you're not going to really see it at the sides. So I'm going to leave my, I'm going to sew from here and then I'm going to finish here. So I'm going to leave my gap at the bottom. Do the same to this one. So we would have done the sides, the bottom. We also need to put a zip on, don't we? Okay, doesn't have to be in the same place either. So I'm going to start here and I'm going to finish here. Let's get sewing. Humid in Cheshire. Oh wow! I'd see when it's like that. We call it the weather's really close. Does that make? I don't know whether anybody's used that term. Anybody else uses that term. But when it's humid here, we say the weather's really close, which would mean the same thing. I don't like it when it's like that. I find I can't breathe. So you're from Cheshire, you Jan? Wow. So it's all the way around. Keep going. I'm going to turn this here a little bit. Around those corners. And we'll start the other side. And stop just there. So that's the first one done. Let's do the second one. And this is fairly an easy bag to do. I haven't, like I say, I drew this out. I'm hoping it's fairly easy. I've never made one before, ever. So have a vision in my mind what I want it to be like. I sort of want it to be like a Chanel handbag, sort of. That's my sort of thing in my mind, what I want it to be like. There you go. stop here. Okay, so we've now done, yeah. We say it's close when the air's still. It's horrible when it's like that. I find anyway. I don't know. You've never heard of that? Yeah, Dee Dee. When the weather's close, when the weather's sort of humid and it feels like the clouds are on the mountain sort of thing, we just say it's close. It's funny how we've all got different terms for things, and that's why I mentioned whether you guys or overseas, have you ever heard of the saying, it's ever so close? It means the air is humid. Sometimes we say things and we take for granted the fact that nobody's ever heard of those sayings before. What am I making? I'm making a Chanel. It's like, have you ever heard of Chanel, Dee Dee? Like a real posh, well, it will be posh, because I'm making it, of course. Like a real miniature, I'd say, because it's not massively big handbag. Can we do the same to this one? Oh, let me cut my corners first. Okay, turn it. So it's fairly easy so far. And we've got to put the zip on next, because we've done the sides and we would have done the bottom, because those are the easiest things to get out the way first. Get my pins out here, move all this in the bin because we don't need that. And then I'm going to switch this to the other side. I don't like humid, can't breathe now. Our summer is always like that. Is Chris putting the after sun in his bag? Like, he better be. I'm not running any after sun on him. We went to Tenerife for our honeymoon, and the story is Chris got sunburnt really bad. He said, yeah, I'll be fine, yeah, I'll be fine, yeah. On our honeymoon, yeah, he was fine. He had bubbles that were forming on his shoulders and his chest where he had caught the sun that bad that he was completely fine. And so I spent most of it running after sun on him, and t-shirt sticking to his. How he didn't land up in hospital, God knows. But anyway, so the day before we come home, I said, right, that's it, Chris, I've had enough now. I said, I'm going out. We've got to go out for a day out. I've spent most of the time by the hotel, thanks to you catching the sun. So we're going out. So I said, right, I want a book to go to the zoo. So I'm going to sew this and tell you. As we walked into the zoo, this woman, now bearing in mind, Chris's his sunburns were really bad. I was having to put the after sun on him every 20 minutes. It was that bad. And he was having bubbles where he had sort of sunburnt his skin, basically. So anyway, I said, I'm not spending another night in this hotel, another day in this hotel. I'm going out the day before we go back. Okay, he said. I said, yeah, really be. I said, you're not doing it to me. So anyway, goes to the zoo. This is where I planned for us to go. And we walked in. And this girl said, oh, would you like to see, we've got A, B, and C shows on. Would you like to see them? I was like, yeah, okay. So she handed us the leaflet. And as we go through this little corridor, it was an open corridor because we were in Tenerife. And as we go through this open corridor, this girl, she had a parrot in her hand. And before I could say anything, she put the parrot on Chris's shoulder. And he was going, get it off. Well, anyway, her English was really bad. So she was going, oh no, all you gotta do is smile, smile. And she was taking pictures. And to this day, we've got that photo. And to this day, it makes me giggle. So no, he's not going without any after sun this time. And I've actually got a photo of the parrot on his shoulder, and it's funny. It is funny. Right, so I've done the sides and I've done the bottom. So now what we're going to do is a little bit of, oh, I say a bit of technical difficulty. We're going to do the front. So there's the bottom and there's our two sides. Now the front has got the hole in, hasn't it? So what we're going to do first of all, just to pad the front out, I'm going to do as I done the side, but I'm going to leave this front section as is. And all I want to do is I'm going to pin here somewhere. There it is. All I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it over. And I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to mark the corners up. And I'm just going to pop these little pins in. And I'm not going to cut the wadding just yet. I'm going to sew it and then I'm going to cut it. There is a reason for me doing that. Because this is a little bit bigger than the sides and the back, it'll give me more room to play with. So I'm just going to make sure that this is completely flat. See? Wait a minute. Yes, smile. And he was going, get it off. She said, all you got to do is smile. Get it off, Clet. And I was laughing. I couldn't help but laugh. And she's going, and she's doing all these sign language, you know, hands, gestures and all that for him to smile. And all he could do was stutter because he couldn't do anything more. And he said the worst thing about it was when she took the parrot off his shoulder, the parrot didn't want to leave Chris's shoulder, so he dug his claws into his very burnt after sun. Yeah. So yes, fond memories of our honeymoon indeed. Right, and I'm going to pop a pin just like so. So what I'm going to do first of all, because we've got a zip to go on this first, is I'm going to pop the zip on first of all. Shouldn't have pinned it. I'm going to pop the zip on. So where's my zip gone? There's my zip. And I'll have to change my my theme. I can't even think what it's called now. My foot. I have to change my foot. So I'm trying to think now how to put this zip on. This is the part I sort of had to think about. Right. I'm going to pop my zip. I pop it just there. Where's my pins? Right. And I'm going to make sure. Oh, I should take that edge in first, shouldn't I? Should take the edge in first. No, take the edge in first before you put the zip on, Clet. Unpin all these and I'll take the edge in first, do the zip, and then I'll come back to the padding. Right. Move that away for a minute. Okay. So 1/4 inch, because I've used 1/4 inch seam allowance. I'm going to go in 1/4 inch. My pin there. It's actually less than 1/4 inch, I would have said. See if I can use my pegs. I'm going to turn this side up. Why am I not using... Just having to think, why am I not tucking in the green? And I had to think then it's because I'm putting a zip on the green. Yeah, because I'm putting a zip on the green. So I've got my bit of a seam allowance there going on. I'm going to do the same to the green. Sew that, and then I'm able to sew the zip on. And get some more small pins. A bit fiddly, but the thing is, so that's that side. Flick it over, because then I can see how much I've taken from it. And then this side. And then I'm going to fold these edges over. And these edges. Now I'm going to do 1/4 of a seam allowance. Seam allowance. All the way around. And then I'm going to attach my zip. Hopefully. Without any hiccups. Right, now I should have the perfectio. I should have that. Have I got it perfect? Yeah, I have. Just about. Right, I'm going to sew that without the padding on at the minute. I'm going to sew it separately. Sew the zip on, and then we'll go ahead and sew the padding on. So take these separately out, and I'm going to start this side, and I'm just going to fold it ever so slightly. Turn it completely around. And don't forget we'll have to do that side as well. Right, I'll turn that around. Okay, so there's the first side done. So we've now got our neat edges. And I'm going to start this side again. It's tricky. Wrong way, correct? Wrong way. It needs doing. Unhook this. Unhook that one. Right, I'll move that all the way around. Unhook that pin. On that one. Don't forget, when we put the seam binding on, the padding on, this will pad itself out anyway. Seam binding, no, the padding. I don't get to finish this in one night. I'll continue it next week. I'm hoping I'll get to finish it with you all. Right, so that is our sort of our two sides all done. Hiya, Violet, sweetheart. So we've now done the sort of the edges on that. The other thing we've got to do now, because those edges are sorted, is where's my little, oh my word, there's my little scissors. To make it easier to cut these edges in, I'm just going to do a little snip to fold this back, and that will allow me then to do a straight stitch with so much ease. So we've made room for our zip. Turn it around, do a little zip, little cut in the corner. And cut it there. So we've now got our wasn't straight enough for me. There. And then to this side, just fold it over, and then you'll have your place to put your zip. I think I might have to do this in two parts, only because I want to add some flowers and I want to make it all fancy. Right, so we've done that. Do the same to this. Still find it soothing. Oh, bless you. Oh, thank you, Violet, sweetheart. Just going to snip those corners, turn it over, pop a pin in there like so, just to hold it while we sew it. Turn this around. Just going to pop a small pin. Oops. There. Snip the corner and then fold. Yeah, I might have to do this in two parts, guys. I only say because it's time's getting on. We'll see how we go. Another pin there. Okay, and we'll sew them, and then I'll add then I'll add the wadding, because that will, like I say, it'll make the shape a bit better. Just pull that thread through there. I'll snip that back. Turn it. Okay, so that's the outside done. This is the inside. And like I say, with me putting the batten on, it'll straighten itself up anyway. So it'll make it a little bit thicker to handle. It's got stuck, turn it. Unpin this and keep going around. Nearly done. And pin, take all this all the way around. And then pin that. And pin that one. And we've done the inside. So we've now got a ton of pins on the side of me. We've now got the inside with our little window, and we've got the outside with our window. But like I say, I want to do a bit of padding because we've done the padding on the side and on the bottom. So what I'm going to do is, this is the inside to think then, is, I don't know whether to put the zip on now or put the zip on later. Let me try and think. If I put the padding on, yeah, put the zip on now, I think. Put the zip on now, why not? Right, okay. Obviously a zip foot. Let me turn it to this is the inside. No, I sort of have to try and remember how to put a zip on. You have to bear with me. So I want my zip to go there. So I'm going to pop that pin in just like so. Take that back. I'm fighting with fabric there. Take that at the back. Pull this zip all the way around and that out the way. And I'm going to move my pin now. Now I know where I want it to go. There. Am I doing this right? I don't think. There. It's the easiest way to do it, I would have said, because I want to. Right, that's a corner, so I'm going to make myself a couple of snips. Zip on side, zip on that side. Stretch the zip right around, making sure that I've got enough fabric to do it. That's not straight. That's straight. I think, might be me, I think I've done, oh I don't know, I can't work out how to do it. Oh yeah, because I've got to sew the bottom to it. You have to ignore me because I'm just trying to figure out in my head how I want the zip to fall. You just have to bear with me because I've never made one of these before. And it's something I wanted to do after seeing how my style of my handbag is. I'm going to pop a zip in there, take it round, go in, pop a pin here, and I'm going to go up to the top. Now, I've just figured something out. I might have to redo this. Because you can cut it off that end, but you can't cut it off this end. So I'm told. Or am I doing it right? Oh, right. Right. I'll sew this way, and I'm pretty sure. Let's see where it falls. Yeah, a couple more inches and it would have fallen there. Never mind. Right, okay. So I've now got my zip in place where I want it to be, I think. And now's the case to sew it. So I have to think on how I want it to be sewn. Of course, I've got to change it to a zipper foot. Making sure that my edges matching it perfectly. Right, change it to a zipper foot. Hi, Tammy, sweetheart. Right, my zipper foot is, no, that is a zipper foot, I think. Button sewing. Sure it's that one. Am I right or am I wrong? I'm sure it's that one. That's the zipper foot. Let me just check, because I am sure I've got it right. But I've got to check these things. Zipper feet. Yes, right. Woohoo! Right, okay. Here goes. Like I say, I think I'm going to have to do this in 2 lives. Only because, like I say, time's getting on and I don't want to bore you off to death. So, zipper foot. I'm going to put it just there because it's going to go on that side of me. Or is it this side of me? Might go this side of me. Right. I should have done it the other way. Clack, man, you pinned it the wrong way. Wait a minute, because it pinned to the wrong side. Expect I haven't, knowing me, but I think I have. I'm just changing my pins over to the side that I think it should need to be. Okay, that's the last one. Right, here goes. Wish me luck. Right. So I'm going to start and do the zipper bit. I'm going to start my Sorry, I've got to check these things. Right, come on, Clyde. Get it to grips now. Start just there. No, it's a bit too close. There. What am I doing wrong? I feel like I'm doing something wrong. I'm missing something. I am. I'm doing something wrong. My head is gone. I think it needs. I don't know whether the feet dogs needs to be down. Anybody remember how to put a zip on? Sure, the feed dogs need to be down. Can anyone remember how to put a zip on? Zip on. Oh, how would you put a zip on? Do the feed dogs? Yes, right. The feed dogs need to be down. No, feed dogs stay up. No, feed dogs stay up. I got them up, but I don't know whether I'm. Oh, off I go. Perhaps there's maybe no cautious. Perhaps there's maybe no cautious. Okay, so I'll move my fabric that way. Like you say, I'm going to have to do this in 2 lives because I want to do that pin with this pin. I want to take my fabric too close because I'll find that the fabric will get caught in the zip if I do. I just want to check something. Yeah, I'm okay. Is me being overcautious? Okay, so I'm going to move it that way. Okay, so where is my hole? There. Cut it off, and I'm going to do this zip back up just to do that top bit. Alright, where's the top bit here? Okay. Ooh. Right, okay, so I now have a zip. I have a zip. Woohoo! I have a zip. So the next thing I'm going to do, and like I say, I'm going to do 2 lives. I want to sew my green fabric now onto that zip and then sew it that way. What I'm going to do, because I think it'll be easier to do it this way, is if I turn that scissors inside out, and I'm going to pop that on there like so. I want to pin all this into place. And no, I haven't got wadding. I'm not going to do wadding up the top because I won't do wadding up the top. I've just thought about it and I won't do it. I'm just going to pin all this into place, the green fabric, and then I'm going to sew the rest on next week because I want to do some flowers and stuff. I don't want to bore you off to death. So let me just pin this side all the way around. Thank you to those who gave me advice on how to put a zip on because my mind just went totally blank. I just needed to be confident in what I was doing. Sometimes I second guess myself quite a lot. I just think, oh, am I doing it right? Am I doing it right? And then I sort of get my phone out and then I'm doing it right, the way it should be done. But I often do that, second guess myself. So as you can see, now I've trapped the zip between the two fabrics. But I've also not what am I trying to say? I've also trapped it, and then next week I'll put on the top zip, and then I'll put it all together. But watch me do this top bit. Watch me do this bit, and then let me know what you think. So I'm going to go from here, and I'm going to unpin these pins as I go along. Okay, lift this a little bit, just to give me a little bit of breathing space. Maybe have my pin then. Take that pin out. And this pin out. I lift it. Take them pins out, I think. And then that one. And then that should be then, and that would have trapped the zip between the two fabrics. Okay, so this is what we have. You can never bore us collect. It is really great to do when it's on live. It's a lot of pressure and you handle it so well. Oh, thank you, Angie. That's such a good thing to say. Thank you. Ow. Thank you so much. I applauded myself. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you so much. That means a lot. And especially because I've never done this project before, I just wanted to have a good go at it. Yeah. Yeah. But thank you so much, sweetheart. It means a lot. So I've trapped it in between the two fabrics. It's not going anywhere. But next week I'm gonna do the zip on this side, and we will have a zip, and then I'll make the whole bag itself. So I've already done the bottom of the bag. I've already done the sides. We've also got to do a handle because I didn't cut a handle out, but next week we will. But like I say, it's coming on, and I'm quite chuffed with it so far. Now I've got sort of the zip halfway on, the other half shouldn't be so bad to put on, but you can sort of see it come into shape. It's going to be sort of like that with a zip in the center, and so you could sort of put your bottles in it, or you could make it as a gift for somebody. It's going to be a handbag, and like I say, the sides are done, and so is the bottom of the bag. Yeah, and we've just got to do the handle. Oh gosh, thank you, Janet, sweetheart. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you to everybody that gave me lovely comments tonight. If anybody's doing a live, or if you know somebody's doing a live, let them know that YouTube has switched all the settings, so Hangout isn't even an option anymore. I don't know what is an option, but Hangout is not an option on YouTube anymore, hence why I was so late tonight. But yes, I hope you really enjoyed that. Please subscribe to each other, let each other go onto each other's channels. YouTube is such a big place, and if you all support each other, what inspiration will we have at the end of it? So I'm gonna love and leave you for now. Join me next week for part 2 for creating this lovely bag. And like you say, it's getting there, and it's gonna look amazing once it's finished. So I hope, fingers crossed, I hope it'll look amazing. But yeah, thank you all for the wonderful comments. I did see that several of you are watching. Thank you for all your thumbs up, because I can see how many's actually giving me thumbs up now as well. So that is a bonus. And it's nice to know that the picture's crystal clear. So yeah, thank you for that as well. So I will love and leave you. Have a lovely rest of the week or wherever you are in the world. And until my next video and my next live, enjoy the week to come. And I will speak to you all then. Bye for now, ladies. Good night. Bye.